Hi there, I'm Vincent Boss and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing Dumpee Valentine's Day preparation. I provide audio coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details. www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast. And today we are discussing Dumpee Valentine's Day preparation. So Valentine's Day is approaching, and as a dumpee, you are likely feeling anxiety. Will your dumper contact you? Will your ex go on a date? These are just two of the questions likely clouding your mind. In today's podcast, I'm going to give 3 pieces of advice about how to prepare for the difficult day of Valentine's Day. So let's get straight into this. And number 1, it's a day like any other. So although we add more importance to Valentine's Day, it's just another day. It consists of 24 hours, the sun will rise and the sun will set. Try to lessen the significance of the day in your mind, because ultimately Valentine's Day is no different to the 14th of any other month. Your ex's behaviour on this one day won't dictate the long-term prospects of you reconnecting. It's very important to try to separate what we place on a day from the reality. As I said, the sun will rise and the sun will set. The hours will tick by, and whatever anybody is doing on Valentine's Day will come to a close just as it does on any other day. Ultimately, when we look at special dates on the calendar, such as Valentine's Day, we add extra significance, but it does cloud our mind and our judgment to understand that when we're considering trying to get an ex back, when we're considering breakup recovery, this is just one day amongst all of the other days you are working through. If your ex wants to contact you, if your ex wants to reconnect, it doesn't have to be on a significant day on the calendar. If your ex wants to reconnect with you one day, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will be on Valentine's Day. In fact, it's very unlikely that your ex will contact you on Valentine's Day. They will only do so if they are feeling enough romantic emotional attraction on this very day, and this is the same for any other day on the calendar. So whether your ex contacts you on the 10th of February, the 14th of February, the 25th of February, or the 8th of June, all of these days, along with all of the rest, are just as likely possibilities. Now, of course, Valentine's Day will likely bring back memories, will likely bring back triggers and possibilities of your ex thinking about you if you had past Valentine's Days together. But this doesn't mean that they're going to reach out even if they will one day reconnect. As I said, this is all to do with romantic emotional attraction. And just because somebody may think of you, if they are not feeling enough attraction at that time, they won't make contact. Romantic emotional attraction is the fuel, and the trigger in this instance would be thinking about you, something such as Valentine's Day, maybe it had been Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, your birthday. All of these days and more can be trigger days, but there needs to be enough fuel for this trigger of ignition to light their interest. So, in summary, when we consider Valentine's Day and we think, look, if my ex isn't contacting me, then that means they will never want to be with me again. That is simply not true. It just means that at this time, your ex is not feeling enough romantic emotional attraction, and this may increase in the future. It possibly won't. We have to understand and accept the fact that there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. And not every dumpee will hear from their ex again. But if you do hear from your ex, if you do hear from your dumper, it doesn't have to be on a special date on the calendar. It can be any date where the romantic emotional attraction is grown to the necessary high point And then there has been a trigger or some self-reflection, something which ignites that interest. Just remember that Valentine's Day is just another day. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast about Dumpee, Valentine's Day preparation. And point number 2 is date yourself. Now, you don't know yet who you will be spending Valentine's Day with. We are not quite at the day in discussion, but what we can say is that you can prepare for all eventualities. So just in case you are alone, make plans to have a great date with yourself. Now, it would be much better if you were able to try and arrange to spend time with your friends. This would be a much better scenario for you if you aren't going on a date with somebody, if you aren't even with your ex. Who knows? Maybe your ex may contact you on the 12th or 13th of February. We just don't know yet. But let's imagine in this instance, you don't hear from your ex. Let's imagine in this instance, you don't have a date with somebody new. The best option would be to spend time with your friends, to spend time with your family. But if you can't do this, you have to accept the fact that it's possible you may be alone. And this is where you can make plans and prepare for what will happen if you are alone on Valentine's Day. We don't want you having your thoughts running away with you. We don't want having your thoughts clouding your mind, making your anxiety go through the roof where you're thinking of your ex 24/7. And hence, we need to prepare for you being alone and dating yourself in a very special, exciting way. And what do I mean by this? Well, if you can prepare properly about how to spend the day alone, then this is good practice for if it happens, and this can make in dating yourself a great, fantastic date. You can eat your favorite food, you can watch your favorite movie, you can listen to your favorite music. Please make sure, of course, you aren't listening to romantic or overly emotional music, I must add. But look, if you have happy music you like to listen to, you can listen to that music along with your favorite film, along with eating your favorite food, and you can really have a great time. Maybe you can do something you love, a hobby or an interest, maybe something you can really throw yourself into. Make time to understand and enjoy yourself by dating yourself. Now, ordinarily, I would always say, improve your health and fitness, and that includes eating healthy. But for Valentine's Day, look, you're dating yourself. Why not treat yourself? Get yourself your favorite food, even if it's a takeaway, even if it's something which isn't the healthiest of meals. You know what? You're allowed to treat yourself once in a while. Just make sure that you've got all of these plans in place just in case you are alone on Valentine's Day. I don't want you thinking about your ex 24/7. I don't want you getting upset. I don't want you feeling like you are all alone. So even if you can't be with your friends and family, make sure you're texting your friends and family. Make sure you're listening to upbeat music. Make sure you're watching comedy films. Make sure you're enjoying your favorite food. Whether or not it's the healthiest or not, it doesn't matter for Valentine's Day. Enjoy yourself, date yourself, and make dating yourself a great date. So now let's get into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast about Dumpee, Valentine's Day preparation. And point number 3 is my challenge to you. So I have a challenge for you. I'm going to explain it momentarily. But what I want to say is if you accept this challenge, then please let me know in the YouTube comments. So if you're going to take part in this challenge, let me know in the YouTube comments and we can see how you get on. So my challenge to you is to start communicating with a new potential date. Now look, this doesn't mean that you have to ask them out on a date. I'm not even putting that pressure on you, but just try to start a conversation with a possible potential date. And what I mean by a possible potential date is somebody who is of the gender that you find attractive, somebody who is of the gender that you could possibly see yourself dating, somebody in the appropriate age range for you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who is in the demographic that, theoretically speaking, you may decide to date. Now, you might be thinking, look, I want my ex back. I'm not thinking of anybody else right now. And I understand what you're saying. If you are feeling like that, you're what I like to refer to as a stage 1 Dumpee, where you're thinking of your ex all of the time and you can't imagine dating anybody else. But just hear me out here. Take part in my challenge. What I'm challenging you to do is to start communicating with somebody who could be a potential date. I'm not saying that you even have to ask them out at this stage, but somebody who is within the demographic of somebody that you might possibly potentially consider dating. Now, this might mean that you join an online dating platform. Of course, you can chat on there. You don't actually have to meet or arrange a date, but just having conversation online dating can be a lot of fun. And more importantly, it will take your mind off your ex, even if momentarily. And this is very important. Now, this doesn't just have to be online dating. You know, there are other ways that you could try and connect with somebody new. Maybe this means introducing yourself better to somebody that you know passively already, a friend of a friend, somebody you kind of know on social media. Maybe you are an acquaintance, maybe you go to a class group or club, or even possibly you work with somebody that you just want to speak with and get to know a little bit more. It doesn't really matter who this person is as long as they are within the demographic of somebody you could theoretically see yourself dating, and as long as this is somebody that you can communicate with and somebody who is enjoying communicating with you as well, of course. Just enjoy the communication, enjoy chat, enjoy texting, enjoy speaking with somebody on the phone possibly. Who knows where this may go? And look, if it's only about a few conversations, then that is fine. Because every conversation you're having with somebody new is a period of time that you're not thinking of your ex 24/7, sitting there alone in your room, not knowing what else to do. It's very, very good for you. It improves your perishable skills, practicing skills such as communication on the most basic level, but also possibly flirting if you want to go a bit further. All of these skills are important to practice. So if you and this other person are enjoying the conversation, then why not just see where it naturally develops? There is no pressure for you to date unless you want to. And this is my challenge to you. Okay, it's not quite Valentine's Day yet, and who knows what Valentine's Day will bring. But what I can say is that as a Dumpee, you are likely to unfortunately feel additional pressure, feel additional anxiety as we approach the day and on Valentine's Day itself. So anything you can do to take your mind off things right now, especially over Valentine's Day as well, will be beneficial. Anything you can do to take your mind off negative things will make you feel a little bit more positive. Now, additional to all of this, all of these 3 points, it is important for me to say that improving your health and fitness is key to a healthy life, mentally, physically, spiritually. So if you want to go on a walk, if you want to do some exercise, as long as it is something that you feel comfortable doing, but of course, this is something you want to be doing as well. This is preparation for Valentine's Day, where if you get to that stage where you are feeling all of that extra adrenaline pumping through you because you're feeling anxious, if you go on a walk or something, this can be something which really just calms you down and helps you sleep a little easier. As I said for the challenge, if you're going to accept this challenge, please let me know in the YouTube comments, because look, anything you do which can distract your mind is positive. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. Date me .tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, date me .tips, check it out now.